Folks, two teams, not one, two teams have made concrete trade offers for Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors have turned them down, said they're not interested. This is per Shams on ESPN late yesterday. We're going to break down who the teams, our NorCal rivals, the Sacramento Kings, and the team down south in the Western Conference with us, the Phoenix Suns. Now, we don't know the players. I'm going to do some. Let me share my screen for you. We're going to go over our favorite website during the offseason and trade deadline. Fanspo, shout out to them. Trade Machine, how would it work? And it has to be signing trades. I already brought Kuminga in. I'll break this down in a bit. And we'll also break down what Shams said. Also plays a part in potentially D'Anthony Melton, Seth Curry, Al Horford, depending how much money Kuminga gets, if he stays, if he goes, sign and trade, etc., etc. It's all playing a part. So we're going to do some fun things on this Friday of recording to figure out what's happening with the Warriors. Please like, subscribe, and follow. Myself and Arthur break down all the news. Only about 30% of you are subscribed who watch. Arthur's video yesterday on Kuminga's agent saying, hey, that's fake news that we would turn down a $30 million offer. We're not that stupid. Love the breakdown and everything in between it. That's what you get on this website. That's what you get on Warriors Digest. Do not miss anything. All right. And one thing I want to share before we get into deeper in the video, this will come up later on. These are NBA exception salaries. So if you see they can offer the mid-level non-taxpayer, mid-level taxpayer, mid-level room, whatever it may be, based off of the year, this is where you're at. So 2026, 2027 is next year. This year is 25, 26. Mid-level non-taxpayer, $42 million. Mid-level taxpayer, $5.6 million. Mid-level right here. Warriors themselves, again, Curry, Butler, and Green, where is it? Take up 80% of the salary cap. So all we can offer is a taxpayer mid-level exception and then the vet minimums. So if you look at that, that means we can only offer somebody $5.6 million in the offseason, and then NBA minimum salaries, 25 based on the years, $3.6 million if you're getting like Al Horford, somebody like that. So just be aware this is what you're going off of, and we'll go off of that when we use this right here. I know this came up in the video before. People like, hey, how does it work? Boom. You comment, I see it, I deliver. Keep commenting. So we got to go over what Shams said. He broke a lot in there. So I can't play the video. It's ESPN video. Can't get in trouble copyright, but we're going to share the screen 1 second. The Suns and Kings have reportedly made concrete trade offers to the Warriors. In this video, Shams said he was in Miami, and he was at this workout, Kuminga working out at some local gym, and he was there. He said he looked good, he was in high spirits, and he said he was in no rush to make a decision. His team is exploring sign and trades. I know a lot of this is a recap in case you're brand new and you live under a rock. You don't know. We're just sharing with you. We'll get to the point. So he's exploring sign trades and trying to see what it is. He's looking to start and wants to play a lot of minutes. And the two teams, now the second part of the report, the two teams, Suns, Kings, have said that they're willing to do sign and trade with the Warriors. They've made concrete offers to the Warriors. Again, we don't know what it is, but they've offered Kuminga starting roles and big minutes. Now, again, Kuminga received a qualifying offer from the Warriors. The Warriors offered him $7.9 million on his restricted free agency. If he were to accept that, and he just plays out the final year before he becomes a free agent, maybe it's a win-win for both teams. Again, the Warriors, if they trade Kuminga before December, they only can get half his value back in a trade. So if he signs for $20 million over 3 years, $20 million per year over 3 years, so $60 million total. That means before December in the trade, it'd only be worth $10 million per year. And that's the type of money you have to get back. Here's the players we have, still the only team not making any move in free agency. Now, again, the Warriors are also interested in D'Anthony Melton, Seth Curry, Al Horford. I did a video the other day saying they have two lined up, waiting to go based off of what happens with Kuminga. Most likely Melton and Horford, and it seems like probably Curry may be in there as well. So that takes you all to this, the Fanspo. Basically, I gave Kuminga the minimum, the medium, kind of what we heard, 3 years, $20 million per year. So $60 million total. That means if you're to do a trade now, you'd have to make it match $10 million for $10 million. Who on the Suns is worth $10 million? Dylan Brooks, 2 years, $21 million. What if we just did Kuminga for Brooks? I don't think they're going to give up Brooks. Now, Brooks and Draymond together would be wild. But I just want to show you guys when people say, oh, dude, trade for trade. Does this work? It does not work. Why? I'm sorry. I just want to make this zoom in. Oh, I need to zoom out. For the Suns, you are under the allowable income amount of $8 million, and Phoenix would have 12 contracts. Dylan Brooks was recently traded to a team aggregated with other players for his team because of 2 months have not passed us a trade, so he cannot be combined to bring in another player of a higher salary, meaning he can't be traded until September 6th if they wanted to trade him. So yes, because he was in a bigger trade, and now you're trading him for less money than somebody else, they can't aggregate that together. So that trade does not work. So we can't do Dylan Brooks. Let's bring Dylan Brooks back. Sorry, my screen's bigger over here, so it's easier to look at it this side, undo trade. So then, who could we get? Jalen Green, not going to happen. Grayson Allen, 16.8, a wing player for a wing player per se. What if you just did that straight up? And maybe they give you they're not going to give you a first-round pick. They'll give us a 2029 second-round pick. Let's see if that works. That would work. So would you be happy with Grayson Allen and a second-round pick for Kuminga? Grayson Allen, we know, is a decent shooter, can shoot high-level 30%. Does get into some trouble with kicking out, flashes like that, but it's kind of calmed down the past year or two. And is a pretty solid defender. Is he a game changer? No, but he can make plays that helps you win games here and there. So Grayson Allen could be one that would make that work. Again, we're just trying to see how would this work. Let's say we still do a second-round pick. Let's go back to the roster. Other than that, I'm really not sure. Maybe you want a backup point guard. This would not be enough money. You're like, hey, let's get a backup point guard. Restricted RS. It wouldn't work just because of the money. Failed. They can't bring that much money in. That's why it would not work, because it's not making the money work. So you're kind of seeing like what needs to go to make it work. Other than that, like I don't know who you would want from the Suns, and that is also why Warriors have balked at anything that has come in. Now, if you go to the Kings, you can't get Levine, too much money. You can't get Sabonis, too much money. You can't get DeRozan. I mean, hypothetically, let's just say, hey, let's get DeRozan. You get a mid player, someone doesn't play a lot of defense. It doesn't work. For the Warriors, we can't bring in that much money to the team because you go over the cap. So that's not going to work. Okay, so let's take DeRozan back out of it. Undo trade. Now, I have seen stuff about Keegan Murray. I truly don't think the Warriors... I mean, I think the Warriors would be okay with Keegan Murray. I like him a lot. Personally, can make threes, can get to the rim, solid defender. But it's not going to work. Warriors are unable to complete this trade since they're now over the apron team after this trade. So too much money coming in. Oh, wait 1 second. Close. Sorry. Trade the Kings. Let's try that. My fault. Try trade. Still failed. It would be too much money. So you can see when people say just do XYZ, it's not going to work. Now, I did see something we talked about earlier, potentially Malik Monk. And if I did the same thing with Kuminga for DeRozan, we know it's not going to work. Actually, let's just do that. Undo trade. Let me make sure in case I did it. We got time. We got video. It's YouTube. Try trade. Failed. Yep, not going to work. All right. What if we did Malik Monk? Malik Monk, we know that they talked about. He's a solid scorer, can come off the bench, be a second team scorer helping out. Failed. So you can see why the Warriors are hamstrung on some signed trades because of the cap, because Butler, Green, and Curry are 80% of the salary. I did see something about Devin Carter being a backup point guard. You'd have to do more than just that, maybe him. And then they would give you, let's say, a second-round pick, and then maybe one more second-round pick. Let's see how that would work. Failed. So it's tough. Again, you're seeing how these front offices have to go about it. Kings can't do this financially. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just say Kuminga takes a standard contract, 1 year, at the $7.9 million. So he just accepts this qualifying offer and is like, fine, I'll play 1 year. I'll be free agent next year. Great. So that means that the Warriors have all this space. So if they want to go ahead and sign a free agent, now we can go to free agents. They could bring potentially GP2 back. You have all these right here. But I want to get a signed free agent. Malcolm Brogdon, we talked about. So if we look at what the Warriors can do, let me go to this for a second. I think this is the right one. There it is. A taxpayer mid-level exception and then vet minimum. A taxpayer mid-level exception and then vet minimums and youngsters on rookie deals of what they can do in signing people. What does that mean? There we go. Contract type, standard contract, 1 year, $11 million, but we don't have that. As we said, the minimum is $6.6 million is what we can provide. So that is what Malcolm Brogdon gets. 6'8". Save. Cool. Now we want to do Al Horford. So sign Al Horford. You get minimum salary, 10 plus years, 2025, $3.6 million. He's been in the league for 19. A little bit of a flaw in the system right there. It does that. So they're saying $6 million. We don't have that. I don't want Brogdon. So with those players plus Kuminga at the qualifying, then you're still under the first apron by $6 million, $18 million. So you could go get other free agents as well. Again, maybe Kuminga actually signs a 2 plus 3. So let's say the contract length is 3 years, and let's give it like $15 million per year. So 15. So 3 years, $45 million. You're over the first apron, but it's still $10 million in the second apron. So you can get out and potentially get Steph Curry. Not there. Not sure what. Maybe you're going to bring back GP2. Keegan Murray is not a free agent. So maybe if you go back to where you got, maybe you say, we couldn't get an on-ball point defender. Let's bring back GP2. Let's bring him in. Contract type, standard contract, 1 year. And again, he has to be at the minimum salary of the vet. Save, $3.6 million. And now this is your roster, folks. You got Kuminga, GP2, Horford, Brogdon as your people in free agency. You like that? You don't like that? You got to let me know. Again, here we're doing, and then here are our draft picks that we have. Again, maybe in a sign and trade, these have to come into play as well. Our goal here is to try to educate you, not just on the trade rumors and free agency, actually what's happening in the market and how the trades would work and money works. So if you find this stuff interesting, please comment, subscribe, please follow, so that way you don't miss any more videos. And of course, it seems like it's going to be a long time with Kuminga. We'll keep you updated the best that we can.